Okay, good morning, Assalamu alaikum. We'll start today's session. Uh, Up to the last class, we have completed the Laplace transform, then first shifting property, then change of scale property, then Laplace transform of derivatives, Laplace transform of integrals, then we have seen multiplication, Laplace transform of multiplication by t power n, also Laplace transform of division by t, right? Then we have seen evaluation of integrals by using Laplace transforms. So these are the topics we have completed in the last two sessions. So with that we have completed the Laplace transform part. Now we are going to start the inverse Laplace transform. So first we will define what is the meaning of inverse Laplace transform. Then here also we will see some standard formulae for finding inverse Laplace transform, and based on that we are going to solve few problems, right? So first we will define what is inverse Laplace transform. Right? Suppose if Laplace transform of f of t equals to f bar of s. Suppose I am having this. That is the Laplace transform of f of t is given by f bar of s. Then here actually this f bar of s is called as the Laplace transform of f of t. This f bar of s is called as the Laplace transform of f of t, and f of t is called as the inverse Laplace transform of f bar of s, right? Suppose if I find the Laplace transform of some function f of t, then that will be denoted by f bar of s. That is the resultant of Laplace transform is denoted by f bar of s, right? This f bar of s is called as the Laplace transform of f of t. Now in reverse, this f of t is called as the inverse Laplace transform of f bar of s. That is, if Laplace transform of f of t equals to f bar of s, then f of t is called as inverse Laplace transform of f bar of s, right? And it is written as see the notation, Laplace inverse. That is, we are taking this Laplace transform to this side. Then what will happen? Laplace inverse of f bar of s is nothing but f of t. So here in this, f bar of s is called as the Laplace transform of f of t, whereas here in this, f of t is called as Laplace inverse transform of f bar of s, and the notation for Laplace inverse transform is L inverse, right? So this is the definition. Now we will see some formulae. So these formulae are derived from the formulae that we have derived for Laplace transform. So we have seen that the Laplace transform of 1 is given by 1 by s. So we have to reverse that. That is, so already we have derived Laplace transform of 1 is given by 1 by s. Then this implies Laplace inverse transform of 1 by s will be 1. Right? Laplace inverse transform of 1 by s will be 1. The second formula, we have derived Laplace transform of e power at equals to, already these formulae are derived while we have discussed the Laplace transform. Laplace transform of e power at is given by 1 by s minus a. So this implies Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a is given by e power at. Third, we have derived Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square is given by sin at. This implies you take the Laplace transform this side, then Laplace inverse transform of This a is a constant that can be taken out, so a is also can be taken here, 1 by a sin 80. Laplace inverse of 1 by a sin 80 is given by 1 by s square, sorry I have written this formula in wrong way, sorry. So we have derived Laplace transform of sin 80. We have derived Laplace transform of sin 80 is given by a by s square plus a square. That is what we have derived. Then Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square is given by 1 by a sin 80. Right? Also we have derived Laplace transform of cos 80 is given by s by s square plus a square. Now s is not a constant, so s is not a constant, s cannot be taken out, so Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square is given by cos 80. Next, fifth one, Laplace transform of cos h 80, sin h 80. Laplace transform of sin h 80. Laplace transform of sin h 80 is given by a by s square minus a square. So this implies Laplace inverse transform of 1 by s square minus a square. It is given by 1 by a sin h 80. Right? Sixth one, Laplace transform of cos h 80 is given by s by s square minus a square. This implies Laplace inverse transform of s by s square minus a square will be given by cos h 80. Right? Also we have derived the seventh one, Laplace transform of t power n is given by Laplace transform of t power n is given by n factorial by s power n plus 1. Right? N factorial by s power n plus 1. So this implies we have to take Laplace inverse this side. So what will happen? Laplace inverse transform of 1 by s power n plus 1 is given by t power n by n factorial if n is positive integer. If n is positive integer. And we have also derived gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1. Right? Gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1. Then what will happen? Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n plus 1 equals to, here what will happen? Here also same thing, no? This is 8th formula, Laplace transform of t power n. Then what will happen here? T power n by gamma n plus 1 if n is real. Right? So these are the formulae related to Laplace inverse transform. So what are those? Let us revise once. Laplace inverse of 1 by s is given by 1, and a Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a is given by e power 80. Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square is given by 1 by a sin 80. Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square is given by cos 80. Similarly, 1 by s square minus a square is given by 1 by a sin h 80, because minus is there. S by s square minus a square is cos h 80. And these two formulae further can be written as, instead of taking s power n plus 1, I can even take, suppose if I want to write this formula, Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n, then what will happen? This will be given by t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. We have to remember this. Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n is given by t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial, right? So you have to remember this formula because we will be using this formula in the problems. So these are the 8 different formulae that are related to Laplace inverse transform. Now we are going to see the problems related to this Laplace inverse transform. So problems. First problem. Find Laplace inverse of 3s plus 5 by s square plus 4. Laplace inverse of 3s plus 5 by s square plus 4. We have to find this. We have to evaluate this. Now this can be written as 3s plus 5 by s square plus 4. This can be written as 3 into s by s square plus 2 square. 4 can be written as 2 square. Now 5 into 1 by s square plus 2 square. Now Laplace inverse of 3s plus 5 by s square plus 4. This can be written as 3 into Laplace inverse of s by s square plus 2 square plus 5 into Laplace inverse of Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 2 square. Now this is equal to 3 into, now which formula we have to use? S Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square. So this is cos 80. Cos 80 means cos 2t, right? Plus 5 into, this is 1 by s square plus a square. It is nothing but Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square is nothing but 1 by a sin 80. 1 by a means 1 by 2 sin 2t. So this is nothing but 3 cos 2t plus 5 by 2 sin 2t, right? This is the required answer. Right, simple problem. Hope you have understood this. Then next, second problem. Find Laplace inverse of 4s plus 15 by 16s square plus 25. So this can be written as solution. Now this can be written as 4s plus 15 by 16s square plus 25 is equals to 4s by 4 into s by this 16 I am taking out. 16, what is remaining then? S square plus 25 by 16. Here 25 by 16 can be written as 5 by 4 whole square, right? Plus 15 is there. 15, again I am taking 16 common. 15 by 16. So 1 by, here 1 by s square plus, again 25 by 16 can be written as 5 by 4 whole square, right? Now you apply the Laplace inverse of 4s plus 15 by 16 s square plus 25. This is equal to 4 by 16 can be written as 1 by 4 Laplace inverse of s by s square plus 5 by 4 whole square plus 15 by 16 Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 5 by 4 whole square, right? Further 1 by 4. Now this is s by s square plus a square formula. S by s square plus a square, which is nothing but cos 5 by 4 t plus 15 by 16. This is 1 by s square plus a square. So the resultant will be 1 by a, 1 by 5 by 4 sin 80. Further simplify this, 1 by 4 cos 5 by 4 t plus 5 3s are 4 4s are, so 3 by 4 sin 5 by 4 t. This is the required answer. Hope you have understood this. Then next, third problem. We are going to see the third problem. Third problem, find. So slowly we will increase the difficulty in problems. It is given by 2s square minus 4 by s plus 1, s minus 2, s minus 3. You see this problem compared to the previous two problems, it is little bit difficult. So how to solve this? We have to find the Laplace inverse of 2s square minus 4 by s plus 1, s minus 2 into s minus 3. Right? Now we have to separate this, something by s plus 1, again something by s minus 2, again something by s minus 3. So we have to use partial fraction, that is 2s square minus 4 divided by s plus 1 into s minus 2 into s minus 3. Now this can be written as a by s plus 1 plus b by s minus 2 plus c by s minus 3. Already you know this, you have studied this partial fraction in intermediate. So a by s plus 1, b by s minus 2 plus c by s minus 3. Then when we take the LCM, 2s square minus 4 equals to a into s minus 2 into s minus 3 plus b into s plus 1 into s minus 3 plus c into s plus 1 into s minus 2. Right? Then we have to find the values of a, b, c from this. For finding the value of a, I need to cancel this term and this term. So this term and this term can be cancelled by putting s equals to minus 1 here and s equals to minus 1. So s equals to minus 1. This implies here in left hand side what will happen? Minus 1. 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 is equal to a into minus 1 minus 2. Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. And here minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. And remaining this one and this one will be 0. So this implies minus 2 and here 4 3s are 12. So 12a equals to minus 2. This implies a equals to minus 1 by 6. Now for finding b, I have to cancel this term and this term. For finding b, put s equals to 2, put s equals to 2. So put s equals to 2. This implies what will happen here? 2 square, 4 2s are 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4 equals to, this term will be cancelled and this term will be cancelled. So remaining is b into 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So this implies b equals to minus 4 by 3. b equals to minus 4 by 3. So for finding c value, I need to cancel these two terms. You see s minus 3, put s equals to 3. This implies what will happen? 3 3s are 9, 2s are 18 minus 4 is 14 equals to, this one will be 0 and this one will be 0. This one will be remaining. C into 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. So C equals to 7 by 2. Right? C equals to 14 by 4 actually, which is 7 by 2. Therefore what will happen? Therefore 2s square minus 4 by s plus 1 into s minus 2 into s minus 3. This is equal to a. A is minus 1 by 6. So minus 1 by 6 into 1 by s plus 1 plus b. B is minus 4 by 3 into 1 by s minus 2 plus c. C is 7 by 2 into 1 by s minus 3. Now find the Laplace inverse transform of this. Laplace inverse transform of 2s square minus 4 by s plus 1, s minus 2, s minus 3. This is equal to minus 1 by 6, Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 1. Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 1 is given by, actually it is in the form of Laplace inverse transform of 1 by s plus a, e power minus at. So e power minus t, minus 4 by 3 e power 2t plus 7 by 2 e power 3t. Right? This is the required answer. Now you take one homework problem. Fourth one, you take this one as homework. Find Laplace inverse of s square minus s plus 2 divided by s into s minus 3 into s plus 2. Right? Same thing, what we have to do, we have to consider a by s plus b by s minus 3 plus c by s plus 2. Then find the values of a, b, c. Then all the terms will be separated. Then apply the Laplace inverse on 1 by s, Laplace inverse on s minus 3, Laplace inverse on s plus 2. Right? You will get the answer. So answer for this will be minus 1 by 3 into 1 plus 8 by 15 into e power 3t plus 4 by 5 into e power minus 2t. This will be the answer for this question. Now fifth one also you take as homework, which is also easy. Find Laplace inverse of 2s minus 5 by s square minus 4. So this problem also you take as homework. Answer for this, actually what we have to do, 2 into s by s square minus 2 square minus 5 into 1 by s square minus 2 square. So what will happen, actually here minus is there, so answer will be 2 cos h2t. If plus is there, only cos 2t, because minus is there, cos h2t, minus 5 by 2 sin h2t. So this will be the answer. Right, so with this we have completed problems related to formulae of Laplace inverse transform. Now we are going to see first shifting property for Laplace inverse transform or inverse Laplace transform. We are going to see now first shifting property. So what was the first shifting property that we have derived in Laplace transform? So in Laplace transform, first shifting property says that if Laplace transform of f of t equals to f bar of s, then Laplace transform of e power at into f of t, then Laplace transform of e power at into f of t is given by f bar of s minus a. So this is the first shifting property that we have derived in Laplace transform. Now we are going to see the first shifting property. First shifting property of inverse Laplace transforms. Right, first shifting property of inverse Laplace transform. Now the theorem statement says that if Laplace inverse transform of f bar of s is given by f of t, then Laplace inverse transform of f bar of s minus a is given by e power at into f of t. Right, everything is reversed here. If you observe, the first shifting property in Laplace transform says that Laplace transform of f of t equals to f bar of s, then Laplace transform of e power at into f of t is given by f bar of s minus a. Whereas here in inverse Laplace transform, first shifting property will be, you take this Laplace transform this side, then it will become Laplace inverse transform. Laplace inverse transform of f bar of s equals to f of t. If this is true, then how to find the Laplace inverse of f bar of s minus a? For f bar of s, Laplace inverse transform is given by f of t. Then Laplace inverse of f bar of s minus a, it is enough to write e power at into f of t. Whatever we are having here, that has to be multiplied with e power at. So this is what the first shifting property in inverse Laplace transform, or further this can be written as e power at into what is f of t? F of t is Laplace inverse of f bar of s. Right, so Laplace inverse of f bar of s minus a is nothing but e power at into f of t, e power at into f of t. Again e power at into what is f of t? F of t is given by Laplace inverse of f bar of s minus a. So this is what the first shifting property in inverse Laplace transform. Now we will see few problems related to this property. Proof is not needed here because the proof will follow from the proof of this property. Whatever we have done in this property, the same thing is followed for this also. The final result will be just we have to shift this Laplace transform to this side, right? We don't need to see the proof of this. Now we will see problems related to this. So first problem, find Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square. Simple problem, right? Solution, you have to find the Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square. Now Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square is given by, now you observe it is in this form. Laplace inverse of f bar of s minus a is there, in place of s minus of minus 2 is there, then it is nothing but e power at into Laplace inverse of f bar of s. So this is equal to e power a, in place of a I am having minus 2, so e power minus 2t into Laplace inverse of f bar of s. So s minus a should be replaced with s, here s plus 2 should be replaced with s square, right? So this is what we have to do in every problem. So Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 2 whole square is nothing but this 2 will come in e power minus 2t. If here minus 2t is there, s minus 2 is there, if here s minus 2 is there, then just we have to write e power 2t. If s plus 2 is there, we have to write e power minus 2t, right? Laplace inverse of, and in the remaining every s plus 2 or s plus a should be replaced with s, right? And this is further equal to e power minus 2t into, what is the Laplace inverse of 1 by s square? Already just now we have noted the formula, 1 by s power n is equal to t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial, right? Laplace inverse of 1 by s power n is nothing but t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So from this what we can write, e power minus 2t into, use the formula, t power 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial. So this is nothing but e power minus 2t into t, right? 2 minus 1 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. Right? Next problem is second, find Laplace inverse of 3s plus 2 by s plus 1 whole cube. Solution, so what we have to do, we have to find the Laplace inverse of 3s. This is 3s plus 2 by s plus 1 whole square. Now you see here s plus 1 is there, which is in this form, f bar of s minus a, but here it is only s. So for applying first shifting property, everywhere s minus a or s plus a should be there, but here s plus 1 is there, here s plus 1 is not there. We have to write this in that form. How to write this? Laplace inverse of 3s plus 2 by s plus 1 whole cube is equal to Laplace inverse of, denominator is fine, it is s plus 1 whole cube, and in the numerator, in place of s, I want s plus 1. To apply first shifting property, everywhere s plus 1, s minus 1, s plus 2, s minus 1, s minus 2, that kind of terms should be there everywhere. So I have to write here 3 into s plus 1. Now it is fine. So what I am getting here, 3s plus 3, but actually what I am having, 3s plus 2. So 1 should be subtracted from this. To compensate, 1 should be subtracted. Now you observe 3s is fine, then 3s plus 3 will be there, plus 3 minus 1 is plus 2, fine. Now you apply the first shifting property. From first shifting property, what will happen? This plus 1, which is nothing but minus 1. So e power minus t will be written outside. E power minus t will be written outside. e power minus t will be written outside, and remaining will be Laplace inverse of 3s minus 1 by s cube, right? Further it is equal to e power minus t, then 3 can be taken out, then Laplace inverse of s by s cube is nothing but 1 by s square, right? Then minus Laplace inverse of 1 by s cube, right? How I have written this? 3 into s by s square is 1 by s square, s by s cube is 1 by s square, minus 1 by s cube. Then this is equal to e power minus t into 3 Laplace inverse of 1 by s square. Use this formula, t power 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial is nothing but t, minus 1 by s power 3, t power 3 minus 1 is t power 2 by 3 minus 1 is 2 factorial, which is nothing but 2. So the answer will be e power minus t into 3t minus t square by 2. This is the required answer. Now you take one homework problem, third one, you take this one as homework. Find Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus 4s plus 8. So what we have to do, we should try to write this in the form of first shifting property. So just a hint I am giving in the answer or in the solution. Just I am going to give you the hint. So what we are supposed to do is Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus 4s plus 8. This is equal to Laplace inverse of, try to write this in the form of something s. So you see the first two terms, s minus 2 if I write whole square, then what will happen? S square, fine, then minus 2ab, minus 2 to the 4s, minus 4s, then plus b square means plus 2 square is plus 4, but we are having plus 8, so for compensating this I can write this as plus 4, sorry, minus, this is fine, plus 4, right? So what will happen here? S square minus 4s plus 4, that plus 4 and this plus 4 will make plus 8. Then what will happen? S minus 2, you apply the first shifting property, then what will happen? E power 2t, e power 2t into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 4 can be written as 2 square. So why it is homework? I have solved almost all the complete solution I have given here. E power 2t, 1 by s square plus 2 square is nothing but 1 by 2 sine 2t. This is the required solution, right? E power 2t by 2 into sine 2t. I have given the complete solution here. Hope it is clear to you. What I am doing here, s square minus 4s plus 8, this I am writing in the form of s minus 2 whole square. If you expand this, what will happen? S square minus 4s plus 4, but here I am having plus 8, so I am adding one more 4 here. Then apply the first shifting property. Here minus 2 is there, e power 2t I will get here, then Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 4. Then I am applying the formula Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square, 1 by a sine 80, right? Then next problem, fourth one. Find Laplace inverse of 3s plus 7 by s square minus 2s minus 3, right? Solution. Now I have to write this in first shifting form. So 3s plus 7 by s square minus 2s minus 3. I have to start with the denominator. Laplace inverse of, I have to start with the denominator. So this first you observe the two terms. This can be written as s minus 1 whole square If I write s minus 1 whole square, then what will happen? S square, first term will be covered, then minus 2s, this will be covered, then plus 1, right? Plus 1, but I need minus 3, so I'll put minus 4, right? You observe the denominator whether it is compensated or not. S square, fine, then minus 2s, fine, then plus 1, but I need minus 3, so plus 1 minus 4 will give me minus 3. It is fine now. In the numerator also I have to write 3 into s, I want minus 1, in place of s I want s minus 1, so what will happen? 3s minus 3, minus 3 is there, but I want plus 7, so I have to put plus 10, right? Then it will be plus 7. So now this, what will happen? E power first shifting property, e power 1t means e power t, Laplace inverse of what will remain? 3s plus 10 by s square, minus 4 can be written as 2 square. Then what will happen? E power t into 3 into Laplace inverse of s by s square minus a square is nothing but cos, minus is there, cos h 2t plus 10 into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square minus a square. 1 by s square minus a square is nothing but 1 by a, that is 1 by 2 sin h 2t. And what will happen? E power t into 3 cos h 2t plus 5 sin h 2t, right? This is the required solution. Now you take homework problem, fifth one, you take this as homework. Find Laplace inverse of s plus 1 by s square plus 6s plus 25, right? You try to write this as s plus 3 whole square. You try to write this as s plus 3 whole square, then see what will happen. The answer is e power minus 3t into cos 4t minus 1 by 2 sin 4t. Right, so we have completed first shifting property in inverse Laplace transform. So what we have to do, everywhere we should try to get s minus a or s plus a, then it can be written as e power minus at or e power at into Laplace inverse of f bar of s, right? So next we are going to see the convolution theorem. So this problems related to this are very important. One LAQ will be asked from this, 100% one LAQ will be asked from this convolution theorem, right? So what this theorem is? So this theorem we have to see without proof. You can see the syllabus copy. Beside this topic convolution theorem, within the bracket it will be written without proof. So we are going to see the convolution theorem. If Laplace inverse of f bar of s is given by f of t and Laplace inverse of g bar of s is given by g of t, then so what we are having two functions, f bar of s, g bar of s, and their Laplace inverse transforms are given by f of t and g of t. Then Laplace inverse of multiplication of these two, f bar of s into g bar of s. This Laplace inverse of f bar of s and g bar of s is given by integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du, right? This is what the convolution theorem. So what it says, suppose if you are having the Laplace inverse of f bar of s, which is f of t, and suppose if you are having the Laplace inverse of g bar of s, which is g of t, Then for finding the Laplace inverse transform of multiplication of f bar of s and g bar of s, what you have to do is just you have to evaluate this integral. Finding the Laplace inverse of multiplication of these two is nothing but finding the value of this integral 0 to t f of t, f of u means here t should be replaced with u, g of t minus u means here g of t should be replaced with t minus u, right? This is what the convolution theorem. Now we will see few problems related to this. We will see the first problem. Applying convolution theorem. Applying convolution theorem, evaluate Laplace inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1. Solution. So what we have to do, we have to evaluate the Laplace inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1. For evaluating this, we need to use or we need to apply convolution theorem. See, this Laplace inverse transform can be evaluated by using partial fraction. 1 by s into s plus 1 can be written as a by s plus b by s plus 1. Then find the values of a, b, then apply the Laplace inverse transform. That is also a simple way to find or evaluate this Laplace inverse transform. But in this question we are specifically asked to evaluate this Laplace inverse by using or by applying convolution theorem. So we have to apply convolution theorem here, which is this. So how I need, for applying convolution theorem, I need two functions f bar of s and g bar of s. So I'll consider, let f bar of s equals to 1 by s plus 1, right, and I'll consider and g bar of s equals to 1 by s. How to find these two? So that the Laplace inverse of second function should be very much simple. We have to select from these two only. Actually here two functions are there. One function is 1 by s, another function is 1 by s plus 1. From these two we have to select f bar of s and g bar of s. So which function should be selected as g bar of s is important, because we have to substitute here g of t minus u. In f of u, anyways t will be replaced with u only, but here g of t minus u, t will be replaced with t minus u. For this function to be very much simple, we have to select g bar of s in such a way that the Laplace inverse of this should be very much simple. If you observe here, the Laplace inverse of f bar of s is given by Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus a, which is e power minus at. It is in the form of 1 by s plus a, e power minus at, which is nothing but e power minus t. And Laplace inverse of g bar of s, which is equal to Laplace inverse of 1 by s, is given by 1. Right? You observe that Laplace inverse of g bar of s is simple function. Right? So in this way we have to select the second function. Then what will happen? This is nothing but f of t, and this is nothing but g of t. Right? Now what we want, we have to find Laplace inverse of, we have to find this 1 by s into s plus 1, which is nothing but Laplace inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1 is nothing but this into this, means f bar of s into g bar of s. Right? Laplace inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s, which is nothing but integral 0 to t. According to the convolution theorem, the value of this is nothing but f of u into g of t minus u du. Okay, next step. So this is equal to integral 0 to t f of u. We are having f of t. in place of t we need u, so e power minus u, and here g of t minus u, g of t is 1, g of t minus u is also 1 only, because there is no t in 1 to replace with t minus u, so this is 1 only into du, right? So this is equal to e power minus u, integration of e power minus u is e power minus u by minus 1, and the limits are from 0 to t. Substitute the upper limit, e power minus t minus e power 0 by minus 1, e power minus t, e power, or else you take this minus above, what will happen, this minus will become plus, e power 0 is 1, and here minus e power minus t. So this is the required answer, 1 minus e power t. So what we are doing, for applying the convolution theorem, we need two functions, f bar of s and g bar of s. Now this can be written as 1 by s plus 1 can be taken as f bar of s, and 1 by s is taken as 1 by s. So always we have to select the g bar of s as a simple function, because we have to write g of t minus u. Because of this reason, g bar of s should be selected as a simple function. Then Laplace inverse of first function will be e power minus t, Laplace inverse of 1 by s will be 1, which is g of t, and here f of t. We want this, which is nothing but multiplication of this one and this one, that is multiplication of f bar of s, g bar of s. According to convolution theorem, it is given by integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. F of u is given by e power minus u, and g of t minus u is given by 1. Evaluate this integral, then we will get the value to be 1 minus e power minus t, right? So this is the simplest problem in convolution theorem. Now we are going to see the difficult problems also. So LAQ problems we will see, mainly LAQ questions will be asked from this. This problem we have seen just to understand how the convolution theorem is applied. Now we will see the difficult problems which are asked for 5 marks. Right? So second problem, apply convolution theorem to evaluate Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square whole square. Right? Solution. See, in this how many functions are given? One function is s by s square plus a square, and another function is 1 by s square plus a square. Which one should be selected as f of t, f bar of s, and which one should be selected as g bar of s? So that is the question. See, I'll give the reason also. I'll select f bar of s. Let f bar of s as 1 by s square plus a square, and g bar of s as s by s square plus a square. Why I am selecting this, we'll understand now. If I find the Laplace inverse of f bar of s, which is given by Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus a square, which is 1 by a sin a t, right, which is f of t. If I find the Laplace inverse of g bar of s, which is given by Laplace inverse of this, which is nothing but cos a t. You observe that 1 by a sin a t is little bit difficult than cos a t. So that's why I am selecting g bar of s as s by s square plus a square. This is g of t. Right? What is the reason I am selecting g bar of s as s by s square plus a square? That cos a t is little bit easier than 1 by a sin a t. Even if you select in the reverse way, the problem is solvable. We can solve the problem. Right? Now, what we want Laplace inverse of s by s square plus a square whole square, which is nothing but the multiplication of this one and this one. Multiplication of this one and this one, you see, s by s square plus a square whole square. Right? So this is nothing but Laplace inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s, which is nothing but integral 0 to t f of u. According to convolution theorem, this is nothing but integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u into du. Further, this is equal to integral 0 to t f of u, f of t. I want f of u, so it is 1 by a sine au, and g of t minus u, it is cos a into t minus u. In place of t I have to write t minus u, so t minus u in place of t into du. Now further this can be written as 1 by 2a, I am taking 2 here, I'll multiply 2 here, sine au cos a into t minus u into du. Now I am having a formula 2 sine a cos b, which is given by sine a plus b plus sine a minus b. Right, this is the formula. Here you observe 2 sine a cos b, so apply the formula. What we will get equals to 1 by 2a integral 0 to t. What we will get, sine a plus b, a is au plus at minus au, right? Then this plus sine a minus b, a is au minus at minus, and this minus is plus au into du. Hope it is clear to you. Now further what will happen, simplify this. 1 by 2a integral 0 to t, au minus au cancel, remaining is sine at plus sine au plus au is nothing but 2au minus at into du. Now we have to integrate this with respect to u. In sine at there is no u, so sine at as it is, 1 will be remaining, integration of 1 is u plus integration of this sine, integration of sine is minus cos 2au minus at as it is. Now differentiation of this in the denominator, differentiation of this with respect to u is 2a, right? And the limits are from 0 to t. Now substitute the upper limit, 1 by 2a, what will happen, t in place of u, t sine at, t sine at minus, in place of u I have to substitute t, so 2at minus at, so what we will get, cos 2at minus at is cos at by 2a. Now lower limit minus 0, u is 0, so 0, minus minus plus u is 0, so cos 0 minus at, so minus at by 2a, right? So this is equal to 1 by 2a t sine at minus t sine at minus cos at by 2a plus cos minus theta. We know that cos minus theta is nothing but cos theta only. This is the formula, cos minus theta is nothing but cos theta. So cos minus at is nothing but cos at by 2a. Now this term will get cancelled. So remaining is 1 by 2a into t sine at. This is the required answer. Fine. Now we'll go for the next problem, which will be the last problem of today's session. Then I'll give couple of problems as homework. Last problem of today's session we are going to see now. Which is lengthy. So third problem, which is important also. Right? Find Laplace inverse of s square by s square plus a square into s square plus b square. using convolution theorem. Right, for evaluating this Laplace inverse transform of s square by s square plus a square into s square plus b square, we have to use the convolution theorem. This is what the problem. Now two functions are there, s by s square plus a square, and the second one is s by s square plus b square. So I'll select, let f bar of s as s by s square plus a square and g bar of s as s by s square plus b square. Right, then find Laplace inverse of f bar of s. Laplace inverse transform of this s by s square plus a square is given by cos at, which is f of t, and Laplace inverse of g bar of s, which is Laplace inverse of this, is given by cos bt, which is nothing but g of t. Right, now I'll consider this Laplace inverse of s square by s square plus a square into s square plus b square is equal to, which is nothing but Laplace inverse of these two, multiplication of this one and this one, is Laplace inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s, and this is equal to, according to convolution theorem, integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u into du. This is equal to integral 0 to t f of u, means cos au into g of t minus u is cos b of t minus u into du. Right, further this can be written as 1 by 2 integral 0 to t 2 cos au into cos b into t minus u into du. Now I am having a formula 2 cos a cos b. This is equal to cos a plus b plus cos a minus b. So all these formulae that I am using in this unit or using throughout the M2, all these formulae are written in the important points given for each unit. If you look at the important points or formulae given for each unit, you can find all these formulae that are used in the unit, right? So if you use this formula here, it will be 1 by 2 integral 0 to t, see cos a plus b, cos a is au plus bt minus bu, right, plus cos a minus b, cos au minus plus bu. This is the formula into dt. So cos au plus bt minus bu plus cos au plus bt minus bt plus bu, right, because of this. Now further this is equal to, now I have to find the integration. I am going to find the integration of this 1 by 2 integration of cos is sin au plus bt minus bu is divided by differentiation of this with respect to u, a 0 minus b, right, plus sin, integration of cos is sin au minus bt plus bu is divided by differentiation of this bracket with respect to u is a plus b, right. Limits are from t equals to, sorry, this is u, no, u equals to 0 to t. Limits are from u equals to 0 to t. Now we will substitute the limits. Upper limit we will substitute 1 by 2 into sine of, in place of u I have to substitute t, so at plus bt minus bt by a minus b plus upper limit again sine of at minus bt plus bt, right? This is divided by a plus b. Now lower limit minus lower limit sine of 0 bt again 0 by a minus b again plus lower limit again substitute sine of, in place of u 0, so remaining is minus bt 0, right? This is divided by a plus b. We have substituted the upper limit minus then lower limit. Now we have to simplify this. 1 by 2. What will happen? Here bt and here bt will get cancelled, so remaining is sine at by a minus b plus sine at by a plus b minus sine bt by a minus b. Here sine minus theta is nothing but minus sine theta, so minus sine bt by a plus b. Actually this should be minus. Okay, when we are substituting the lower limit u equals to 0 in this, we are getting this minus, and when we substitute this u equals to 0 in this, here also minus should be there. Here also one minus should be there. This minus sine theta and this minus will make it plus. Right, further we have to simplify this. So this is nothing but 1 by 2. My a minus b in the denominator, a minus b in the denominator. So what will happen? Sine of at minus sine bt by a minus b, and here plus sine at plus sine bt by a plus b, right? Further this can be simplified by taking LCM. 1 by 2 LCM of this a minus b into a plus b is nothing but a square minus b square, right? Then a plus b into sine at minus a plus b into sine bt, then plus a minus b into sine at, then a minus b into sine bt, right? So further 1 by 2 into, you observe a sine at and here a sine at, this is 2a sine at, b sine at minus b sine at, so b sine at minus b sine at will get cancelled. Now here minus a sine bt plus a sine bt, this one and this one will get cancelled. Remaining here minus b sine bt and here minus b sine bt, so minus 2b sine bt is divided by a square minus b square. This is the 2 can be taken out. Further this 2 can be taken out and cancel out. Then remaining is sine at, a sine at minus b sine bt divided by a square minus b square. This is the required answer. Right, hope you have understood this. This problem is important. Watch this video again to understand this problem very much clearly. So every step is related to previous step, and only just a simplification. Up to this is integration, and up to this integration and substitution of limits. So after this just a simplification is there by taking the common terms and LCMs. Simplification is there, right? Next I will give 2 problems as homework. Note down the 2 problems that I am going to give as homework. Note down the 5th or 4th problem. which is homework. Find Laplace inverse of 1 by s square plus 1 into s square plus 4 using convolution theorem. Right, 1 by s square plus 1 into 1 by s square plus 4. See, one function should be selected as 1 by s square plus 1 and another function should be selected as 1 by s square plus 4. Then you find the Laplace inverse of that, then you apply the convolution theorem. The answer for this will be 1 by 12 into 4 sin t minus 2 sin 2t, right? Then fifth problem also you take as homework. Using convolution theorem evaluate. Using convolution theorem evaluate Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 9 whole square, right? Now again here you have to select one function as 1 by s plus 1, another function as 1 by s plus 9 whole square. I would like to give a hint here. Better to select f bar of s as 1 by s plus 9 whole square and g bar of s as 1 by s plus 1, because the Laplace inverse of f bar of s is given by Laplace inverse of this is nothing but e power minus 9t into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square, and here Laplace inverse of g bar of s is nothing but directly e power minus t, right? Because 1 by s plus 1 is there, e power minus t. Here this one, how I have written 1 by s plus 9 whole square, I have applied here first shifting property. To write this as e power minus 9t into Laplace inverse of 1 by s square. And again I know that Laplace transform of 1 by s power n is given by t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So by using this formula I can write this as t power 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial, which is nothing but e power minus 9t into t. Consider this as f of t and consider this as g of t. See how you are going to solve this problem, right? You take this problem as homework. So with this we have completed the problems related to convolution theorem. So in today's lecture we have started the Laplace inverse transform or inverse Laplace transform. First we have seen the definition, then we have seen the problems, we have seen formulae for Laplace inverse transform, 8 standard formulae. Then by using those formulae how to solve the problems. Then we have seen the first shifting theorem for inverse Laplace transform, which is seen to be the inverse of first shifting theorem in Laplace transform. Then we have seen problems related to this. And then after that we have seen the convolution theorem and how to find the convolution theorem, how to apply the convolution theorem for solving the problems. So with this we'll come to the end of today's session. Tomorrow will be the last session for the completion of this unit. That is the application part, how we are going to apply this Laplace transform or Laplace inverse transform, whatever we have learned till now, for solving the differential equations. See, we have seen differential equations, the solutions of differential equations in second and third unit. So instead of applying the classical methods, that is the methods available for the differential equation, we can even apply Laplace transform to solve differential equations that are called as applications of Laplace transforms to solve differential equations. So that we will see in tomorrow's class. So see you tomorrow, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.